If you want to achieve the highest FPS possible, either at 1080p, 1440p or 4K resolution, I will give you a gaming PC for each resolution, and I think these PCs are the best in terms of performance depending on the resolution. And trust me when I say I see a ton of people overspending money on their PCs and getting a total overkill for their resolution, and that's why I made this video. You will have the links to all of the components mentioned down below in the video description. That being said, let's start. With the first one, we have the 1080p highest FPS PC. This one has the AMD Ryzen 5 5600 alongside the RX 6750 XT for the graphics card. Now, the RX 6750 XT is able to average 138 FPS on an 11 game average at 1080p on high to ultra settings, meaning that if you're going to play easier to run titles such as Valorant or Fortnite, you're going to be able to achieve way more than 200 FPS. So if you want to buy a 240 or even a 360 Hz monitor, feel free to do so, because as I said, this one in my opinion is the highest FPS for 1080p gaming PC. Then for the other components, we have the Thermal Ride Assassin X for the CPU cooler, we have a Gigabyte B550 Gaming X for the motherboard. I want to clarify, this motherboard does not come with Wi-Fi included, so if you want Wi-Fi, you're looking to spend another 20 or 30 bucks. Then for the memory kit, we have the Silicon Power Gaming 32 gigs of RAM kit. I chose 32 gigs instead of 16 because 32 gigs of RAM right now is really cheap and it's going to be way better for streaming and productivity work. Then for the storage, we have the Silicon Power A60 1TB of Gen 3 SSD, great drive for just $35, and it's going to be really fast for gaming. You do not need anything more than this. Then for the case, we have the Salman S2 ATX mid tower case. This one has a front mesh panel, great airflow, 3 pre-installed fans for $55. And then for the power supply, we have the MSI Mag 650 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, which is C tier rated, meaning that it's going to be enough quality for this type of build. Now, the total price for this PC is $835 by the time that I'm recording this video. Maybe when you're watching this, it's a bit more expensive or a bit cheaper. That's why I recommend you checking the latest prices. But I want to clarify a couple of things before we move into the next one. The first one being that if you play really high demanding CPU titles, for example Flight Simulator, then you may want to spend more money on the CPU and get, for example, a Ryzen 7 5800X3D, which is going to be quite more expensive, or just get the Ryzen 7 5700X or Ryzen 7 5800X, depending on how much money you have and your needs. But in my opinion, the 5600 is going to be enough for most people, and I personally wouldn't spend any more money than $850 for 1080p resolution, especially when talking about gaming performance. And the last thing I want to clarify is that every PC I will mention on this video has non-RGB components, so if you want RGB, you will have alternatives in the description, but on this video I will mention all black builds. Moving on to the next system, we have the 1440p highest FPS system. This one has the Ryzen 7 7700X alongside the RX 7900 XT for the GPU. On a 16 game average on high to ultra settings, the 7900 XT is able to average 160 FPS. There's no limit when playing games here. You will be able to run any game on ultra settings with no issues, and you can also play at 4K with no issues. But for the sake of this video, in my opinion, this one is the best for 1440p resolution when it comes to gaming performance. Then for the rest of the components, we have the Deepcool AK500 for the CPU cooler. Then we have the Gigabyte B650 Gaming X. This one has Wi-Fi included, which is a pro. Then for the memory kit, we have 32 gigs of DDR5 memory at 6000 MHz, CL38 timings, and if you are new to PCs, don't worry about these numbers. This RAM kit is amazing. Then for the storage, we have a 1TB Gen 4 SSD in the Western Digital Black SN770. And then for the case, we have the Fractal Design Meshify 2 ATX mid tower case. It looks amazing, it looks classy, has plenty of airflow, and it's going for 90 bucks. And last but not least, we have the power supply. We have the Corsair RM750E. This one is 80 rated and it's a 750 watt 80 plus gold power supply. The total price for this system by the time that I'm recording this video is $1,662, and I would not spend any extra dollar for 1440p resolution because I think it would be an overkill. And I forgot to mention, but if you play esports titles such as Valorant or CSGO or Fortnite, any type of FPS game, you will be able to average more than 240 FPS even at 4K resolution with this system. And with the last one on the list, we have the 4K highest FPS PC. It has the Ryzen 7 7800X 3D and the RTX 4090 for the GPU, which is the highest performance GPU on the market. Not the best value, but the highest performance. So it will run any title on ultra settings. On a 13 game average at 4K on high to ultra settings, it was able to manage 144 FPS, which was the highest among all of the GPUs tested on the benchmark. For the rest of the components, we have the ID Cooling FrostFlow X280 all-in-one liquid cooler, and then we have the same motherboard and memory kit as the 1440p system, but this time we have a 2TB SSD instead of a 1TB. Then we have the NZXT H7 Flow for the case. This one is the one I currently have on my system. It has plenty of airflow. Honestly, I'm really happy with my purchase and it's going to be way more than enough for this build. And by the way, I also added 2 extra NZXT fans because it comes with 2 pre-installed fans. You will need at least 2 more, and that's why I added those, and they are going to be placed on the front of the system. So if you're going to build this PC, just keep that in mind. And then for the power supply, we have the Enermax Revolution DF2 1050 watt 80 plus gold power supply, 80 rated PSU of course, and enough wattage for the system if you're not going to do any overclocking. The total price right now is $2,670, and I wouldn't spend any more money than this for 4K resolution gaming, and you can get away with way less for 4K, and you can say the same about the 1440p PC. You can get away with way less for 1440p gaming, and you can say the same about the 1080p resolution system. You can get away with way less for 1080p. So if you want the best value PCs, not the highest performance, but instead the best price to performance, I recommend you watching my video about the best PC builds of the month. I go over the best price to performance system for every budget, and if you need some guidance on which PC build to buy, which Prebuilt PC, I recommend you getting personal PC help from me, and I will help you out even if you want a total different need, such as content creation or 3D rendering. I want to say though, it's not free, but I'm going to save you a ton of money because trust me, most people overspend on their gaming PCs, so I am guaranteeing you that you will save up money if you get the right PC for your needs and budget. You will have the link to that website in the description and also in the top right of the screen. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for your support, and I will see you on the next one.